Note to self, there's that clip. It's for the stereo. Clip there. There's also a clip there for the other stereo bits. Not seeing any other clips. Just going to repeat this. That goes through. Through the back. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Isn't it amazing how much room there is with the dashboard in it? It'd be cool if they could make a ultra slimline dash. Don't know what that 5-volt amp fuse is for, I must find out. Well, that wasn't too bad. The unbolting of it is just bread and butter. The worst bit of it all was these plasticky trim things and taking the controls off that. Even though they push on and they've just got clips, they take a fair grip when you're trying to prise them off using a toolkit. You're still worried that you're going to break it. Okay, you can replace it, but with the pace that things arrive in the post, I don't want to delay this anymore. So let's get the new to this car dashboard in. Right, that was the dashboard that was in it. And this is the new one. Complete with the whole point of the exercise, the airbag. Let me just well, when I was taking the dash out, I found this under there somewhere, and I kept it aside wondering what it was, but I couldn't see anywhere obvious. And just before I stick this dash back in again, I thought I would do the carbon filter. Anyway, I don't know if you can see this is so screw, there's another one up there somewhere that was missing. The missing link. I figured I would take out the airbag sensor once the dash is out. That's how I'm keeping a note of some of where the screws go. I've seen somebody else on YouTube do that. I can't remember who it was now. It was a mechanic chap. Right. Well, as you can see, that's the new dash in with a new nice airbag and no blown bit up there. I never took any video of this when I was taking it apart, purely because there was no room for me and everything. But changing the seat belt, this comes off, there's a screw in there, that pops off. This whole that all clips off. You can see, I don't know if you can see this. I'll do a better one of the other side actually, but you can see it. The only thing that caught me out is that thing. Be aware that there's a screw underneath it, because it looked like, if I go around to this side, when that's in position, it looks like it's just part of the moulding. So when you start yanking this off, you're aware that it's been held by something. There's a wee torque screw in there, likewise on the back one. I don't know if you have to go to that extent to get it off, but it just made it easier for me. So I'm just going to button up this side and then put it back together again. The clips take a bit of a grip, but they come off with one of these. Okay. Right, I'm at the stage where I'm going to change this side. So I've taken off all that trim there. Maybe it's not necessary, but it just gives me a little less strain for this. And if I grab actually I'll put you down for a second. So that's the connector for the when the airbags go off. There's a foamy thing there that goes on the side, which I found down the side of the other one, and the bolt that holds the seat belt is there, and that's the other hole where it's held in, so it's quite straightforward. Right, that's the replacement one then, so I'll just tighten this up. That's 17mm. There's a wee slot at the top of the, let's see if I can get a bit closer. Yeah. Bracket on the seat belt, and there's a wee cutout in the body of the car, and it slots down into that, and then you just tighten that in. Okay, so that's it tightened, and then this, right, make that bigger again. When you're taking it off, you just squeeze it together like that. See, there's little wee tabbies there. That's that back on. So that's that bit done, and then all I've got to do now is this part of it. Which connects onto the it's that bolt there that holds this mechanism in place, and you've just got to pop this connector apart. I found it easier on the other one to actually get off right. I'm going to put this down again for a second. There you are, so that just locates in that hole. And that whole bit, you see it's got a lifter on it, and the whole thing slides out, and then it's just a case of pulling that apart. So once that connector's apart, undone that bolt, which locates in that hole, and that's the whole thing off. And then there's a wee foamy bit, I don't know if on the other one I got there wasn't a foamy bit, but that's the replacement. The only difference is you'll see, and this is just more for me, is that's quite a short wire, whereas that wire and the one that's been supplied is just, it's a bit longer. Works in the same way, but so that's the replacement. In the connector's back together again, and I'm just going to push this. That's it located, and then I can just pop it back in there again. And I've pulled all the belt through that hole. The plastic trim lets you get, that goes in there, lets you get everything through after the event. So that's me back together, so I'll just start putting the trim back on again. Why, oh Romeo, are you taking that side off again? Because I had one screw left over and it goes in there. So I have to take that apart again. So don't forget that screw. Right, I'm just going to have a look inside this unit, because I noticed I put everything back together again. You can see the verdigris and the USB connector. And the other curious thing, I don't know whether it was when I was taking it off, was the cigarette lighter power connector was disconnected. I don't know if that was me or if it's been disconnected for a reason. So that's just a mental note for self as well. Right, let's have a look at this. Finally making progress. That's the dash we've already seen. The seats back in again. All that back in again. The verdigris sorted out on the USB. Seats back in. Everything plugged in, so we're all good in here. So it's just the windscreen and the front end to do now. And I'm just building up the radiator now. And I'll offer it up and see what happens. I'm pretty pleased with that. It still needs a wee bit of tweaking, but I think that's looking pretty good. You guys said I did this all the time, we've been huge gap, that's squint. I want to sort that out. I'm going to get that painted at the same time as the bumper, but I just want to get that tweaked yet. Having said that, yeah, it's just a wee, it'll probably come, I'm guessing I can just kind of shove the whole thing that a ways a wee bit. But that's it closed there. I've got my radiators in, everything connected, I've got the fluids topped up. I haven't started it yet. I'm going to leave that for another time, so I'm going to shoot off now, but pretty pleased.